And I am live. Oh my God. I never actually done one of these live things in a very long time. Right now I'm just getting set up here. Let's see. Let's see where's a good spot to put the camera to. How is that? Or how's... Here we go. That's more like it. So far we don't have anybody in here yet. It says 9 minutes. I'm gonna try to refresh this, see what happens. All right, perfect. I'm going to use the live stream for a minute. So far, we have 2 people in here. Got a list of things I'm going to work on and talk about as I go along this episode. This is a 2025 retrospective of the year and looking ahead in 2026. So, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am just Mike. You are watching and you are listening to this video. That is the 2025 year in retrospective, even though we only have one day left. That is tomorrow. That is New Year's Eve. Hope you all have a great 2026. I'm going to talk about what lies ahead momentarily, but I am also going to reflect on what was 2025, and I want to start off with something that was presented to me. I do believe it was early on this year. So when did this come out? This came out 6 months ago, on June 16th. So I'm going to present Rock Out Wild. That's right, Rock Out Wild. And guess what? I have the shirt on. I'm going to present something as a little bit of an intro here to get things going, shall we say. So let's put this up here and let's go full screen. And I am going to, let's see, full screen layout with this. And I'm going to play this little intro to kick things off here. So let's do this. Rock on wild, 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 rock on wild. Just like hit right. Rock on wild, rock on wild, rock on wild, rock on wild. So, shout out to Galvanic. Shout out to Galvanic for posting that video 6 months ago. And I uploaded it to my YouTube back in June. That was new. That was new music. That's the video that was uploaded back on June the... What date was that again? The 16th? Yeah, that was June the 16th. And that was If you don't know who that was Galvanic. And yeah. So for this episode, this special live stream, shall we? I'll be going over some stuff. Seeing that sports is not really my kind of topic to go over a lot, I might as well get this out of the way. The World Series this year, LA Dodgers and Toronto Blue Jays. That was one heck of a series this year. This was back in October and November of 2025. This went to 7 games, and I actually found a link, which I will share screen right here, that went over the scores of all these 7 games and how long that they went. So I'm going to present, share screen, and we're going to take a look at this thing here that I already prepared. And this is a list of the World Series games and how they all went along here. We had the Dodgers in defeat with the Toronto Blue Jays defeated the Dodgers in Game 1, 11-4. And then in Game 2, we had the LA Dodgers tie it up to win Game 2, 5-1. Then we had the infamous Game 3, where Dodgers beat Toronto 5-6. This went to 18 innings. And from what I remember, I think this game ended at 4:30 in the morning or something like that. Not a lot of games go 18 innings, but that one did. And then we had the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Dodgers Game 4, 6-2 to tie it up. Then Game 5 went to the Toronto Blue Jays, 6-1. Game 6, LA Dodgers beat the Toronto Blue Jays 3-1. And Game 7, in 11 innings, LA Dodgers wins the 2025 World Series by defeating the Toronto Blue Jays 5-4. And yeah, go Jays, I agree. That's the scores that were in that World Series. And I got to say, watching that Game 7 close to the very end was very stressful, to say the very least, because I was really, really hoping the Blue Jays would win and I can go on and go, yay, Blue Jays won. No, that didn't happen. That sucks, and that's unfortunate because I was really, really into that series. And it's one of those series that it was one of those series that I never got so much hype for until that year. If this was any other year, I would say, no thanks, I'm not watching this game at all. I just have no interest. But with this, because it was the Toronto Blue Jays, because they haven't won a World Series since 1993, I had to see this. So I was watching it on, and it was like, okay, cool. Toronto was in the lead. All right, looks like they're going to win the World Series. And all of a sudden, Dodgers tie it up. And then they had the lead. And it was, I think I watched it until the 10th inning or something like that. Or somewhere around the 10th inning. And I just had enough. It was tied up. I did not want to watch the game if the Blue Jays were going to lose. So I just shut the thing off entirely. Because if I watched that, like, darn it. And look what happened. They lost, and it's a good thing I didn't see it. I didn't want to see the Blue Jays lose. Knowing that I heard that they lost doesn't have the same landing for me, so I get it. I get it there. So that's pretty much the only thing I want to get like really out of the way before all the other stuff I want to talk about here. So let's see. All right. So this episode of this retrospective of 2025 will go over the year. And I pretty much got the sport thing out of the way. In terms of movies, I'm not going to be one of those people that will talk about the 2025 movies. That's not what I'm going to do here. But what I am going to do is that I'm going to go over movies that I'm going to be reacting to in the future. So, one of the things, or I should say, one of the features that you see on the Rock Out Wild Show is when I react to my old movie reviews. Now, it's starting to get into the 2015 era of movies. So, I'm going to see what lies ahead in 2026 as I react to my 2015 movie reviews. So I'm going to present to you all my channel, and we'll see what movies I go to be reacting to coming up here. So let's present, share screen, and let's look at my channel for a moment here. And as you see, the Rock Out Wild episodes are up here, all the way from, and it keeps on loading, obviously. So what I'm going to do, though, is look at my movie reviews that are coming up. So let's go to my YouTube studio. And let's go to the content. And the dates. So all of these movies that I reacted to are all up on the Rock Out Wild show. Right now, I'm just slowly going through them here. Let's see. Okay. So so far this year, the last one that I reacted to was Black Cat. So the next one will be Cake. And never mind the cell phone up there. I'll be reacting to the movie Vice, Wildcard, Mordecai, Project Almanac, Kingsman: The Secret Service, yeah, I did Middleland Fan, and oh my god, it's been a while. Yeah, the reason why I privated these movie reviews was because I really wanted to start over my channel. Just to rebrand myself and all that stuff. Oh my god, Middleland Fan, a lot has happened since you were last here. A lot has happened. But Middleland Fan, thank you for tuning in. It's been a while. And yes, I did private these videos. I did. So Kingsman will be coming up. We got A Most Violent Year, The Loft, Seventh Son, The Intruders from 2015. We got Outcast. And somehow this review got 38,541 views, which I have no idea how. But The Boy Next Door, starring Jennifer Lopez, I'll be reacting to that this year as well. McFarland USA, 50 Shades of Grey. We all know how that turned out. We got The Woman in Black, Angel of Death, Black Sea, Chappie. That was a decent one. 71, that was an all-right one. Run All Night, Typecast Liam Neeson. We got Focus. I heard that movie slaps. We got Tracers, which is a lot of parkour. Here's a little bit of an interesting one. It's a biopic plus a concert. It's Metallica's Through the Never. Insurgent movie review as well. Even a little bit of the extra stuff here. We got like the 2012 Mick Rock movie battle, something I'd done a long time ago. First quarter year in reviews 2015. Also, I have a video here called my DVD and Blu-ray collection. That's something I'll be reacting to, and that's probably something I could also update as well, because there's been a lot of movies that I have received since April 2nd, 2015. Yeah, it has, I know. Furious 7, that is one I'll be reacting to, and I'm sort of dreading that because Paul Walker has passed away. We have The Lazarus Effect, Cast No Shadow, which is a movie that I don't think a lot of people saw at all. I'll be reacting to that hopefully this year. It Follows, Unfriended, Hyena, which is a bit of an underrated gem, The Water Diviner, The Avengers Age of Ultron, Jupiter Ascending, While We're Young, which is a movie starring Ben Stiller. I'll be reacting to that hopefully this year. Mainly, I'm just going to go through the 2015 movies that I'm looking forward to reacting. Even if I don't get through all of them, I'll get through most of them. We got Ex Machina, Maggie, Mad Max Fury Road, which I'm really looking forward to reacting to that. Tomorrowland, San Andreas, Spy, Jurassic World movie review. We got Slow West, The Gunman, Insidious Chapter 3, Danny Collins, which I don't remember at all. Poltergeist 2015, that's a remake from the 1982 movie. Then we got Ted 2, Good Kill, which is a bit of an underrated gem. Inside Out. Then we got a half year review in movies. And then we got Terminator Genesis, Goosebumps, Selfless, Minions, Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, Ant-Man, The Reverend, Pixels, Trainwreck, Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. And we got Southpaw and The Gift. Tomorrowland needs a rewatch of that movie. Yeah, I do too. Filming in Newfoundland. Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's right. And then we got, let's see, Fantastic Four from 2015. I should call that Fan Four Stick, by the way. It's not Fantastic Four. Then we have Cop Car, which is a bit of an underrated gem as well. Straight Outta Compton, universally loved. American Ultra, decent movie. Then we got Love and Mercy. The Love and Mercy was the story of Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. Then we got Z for Zachariah, a bit of an underrated gem as well. Somehow this movie review got 3,364 views. No Escape, starring Owen Wilson. Wow. And then we have a couple of lists here. Top 10 best summer movies of 2015. Top 10 worst summer movies of 2015. Then we have The Visit. The Marine 4, starring The Miz. Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp. Then we have 12 Rounds. Everest. Pawn Sacrifice. Paper Towns. Dope. The Martian. The Walk. Then we have Sicario. Knock Knock. Who's there? Keanu. Keanu who? Keanu Reeves. Anyway, Crimson Peak, Bridge of Spies, The Green Inferno, which was a pretty gross movie, The Gallows, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., The Last Witch Hunter, Hitman Agent 47, Spectre, and The Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials. So yeah, there is another Maze Runner movie as well. Let's go to the next page, and there's only a few left, I think. We're in the November 2015 movie reviews here. We have the Condemned 2, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, I do believe. Yep. If you just hover over it, it'll tell you the full thing. Spotlights. I love that movie. We have a couple of back-to-back movies that I love here. We have Spotlight, and then we have Creed. And then we have Krampus. The Legend, starring Tom Hardy, doing dual movie roles there, playing twin brothers. Then we have The Revenant, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Steve Jobs. Star Wars The Force Awakens, The Hateful Eight. And look what I'd done 10 years ago today, the top 10 best movies of 2015. I uploaded that December the 30th. And also on the same day, I've done the top 10 worst movies of 2015. So both of these videos I've done on December 30th, 2015, 10 years ago, I will be reacting to them hopefully next year. Hopefully I will get into all of the 2015 movies that I want to react to. So that's pretty much what lies ahead in terms of the movie reviews. I'll be looking ahead for the Rock Out Wild show in 2026. Let's see. So, next thing I'm going to talk about are the television shows that I watched. The television shows, oh boy. And this is going to lead me into two future topics for the Rock Out Wild show in 2026. There is one particular show my dad and I marathoned the heck out of it. This show has 10 seasons overall. Miss those reviews. Yeah, I do too, yeah. So when it comes to the television shows that I've watched, it's not much. There's only two, really. And well, three if you count a show that I'm currently watching, but I'm not finished just yet. I got a few more seasons to go. But in terms of the television shows, besides wrestling, that I've watched this year, there's only been a couple. And the first one I'm going to talk about, I have it right here. I might be missing a thing in the box because I have one somewhere else. But it's Smallville. I have all 10 seasons of this show right here. What an awesome show this is. I love it. I absolutely love Smallville. And I'm going to make this known, a future topic for the Rock Out Wild show. I'm going to do Smallville stuff. So I'm going to rank hopefully my top 10 episodes of Smallville. If I don't do the episodes, I will definitely do the seasons. In fact, I might be better off. What I might do is rank my top 10 favorite seasons of Smallville. And I'll probably go on Episode Ninja to see how the fans voted as their favorite episodes of Smallville. I might do it that way. And what I might do is a tier list of Smallville characters and things like that. Smallville, I will give you a little bit of a teaser preview of what's to come for this episode of this show right here. Fantastic superhero origin story. Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor. To me, he is the real star in Smallville. And you have Tom Welling as the leading guy, Kal-El, Clark Kent, Superman, who is actually not yet Superman, but he grows up to be Superman. And To me, he's maybe the second best Clark Kent I've seen in either film or television, next to the man, the myth, the legend that is Christopher Reeves. And so, yeah, that's Smallville. I hope to rank the seasons, see what people thought of the episodes, do a tier list of the characters, maybe the villains. Yeah, so Smallville is going to be a big topic throughout next year for me. Also, another show that I have watched. Now, I should say this. There's a certain show I agree, great series. Now, there's a certain show I started to watch roughly around 2019, but I only watched one season, and then I stopped watching it. Then a few years later, I picked it back up back in December of 2023, and I marathon from season 2 all the way up to the very end. And then I showed my dad the show. That show is Breaking Bad. I finally watched the whole series of Breaking Bad. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of a teaser. Fantastic show. I see why people call Breaking Bad the best TV series of all time. So I will be going over that. I'll be hopefully ranking the seasons. Hopefully do something with the episodes. Do something with the characters. Aaron Paul. You know what's funny? Aaron Paul. I really knocked on him when this performance for Need for Speed. But once I started binge watching Breaking Bad, Aaron Paul became that real star for me for that show. Oh, and of course, Walter White turning into Eisenberg in season 5. It's fantastic. And you're goddamn right. Say my name. You're goddamn right. Still one of the best moments in Breaking Bad history. You're goddamn right. So I'll be going over that. And I'm currently watching the spin-off series. That is Better Call Saul. I think I'm about 8 episodes in, somewhere around there, 7 or 8 episodes of the first season. And hopefully Dad and I will finish up the series probably sometime next year. So in terms of the series, I hope to do something for both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. We'll see. If not, only time will tell. So in terms of the television shows, that's pretty much all that I have for the shows in 2025 that I watched. Now there is, the occasion I'll flick on. Oh, there's one other show. I should talk about one other show, and it's still ongoing. In fact, the final episode in the series is dropping tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on New Year's Eve. And you know exactly what show that is. Stranger Things. I hope to do something for Stranger Things as well. Stranger Things, to me, it's a really damn good show. Season 1's really good. Season 4 is really good. Season 2 and 3, they're somewhere in the middle. Season 5, I'm not going to pass judgment on season 5, the final season, just yet, only because it's still ongoing. I can't judge it just yet. So I'm going to wait it out, watch the final episode, maybe a couple of times before I really dive into my thoughts about it, and then think about season 5 overall and how I feel about it. I see a lot of people not liking episode 7 of season 5, and I understand it, but I'm not going to say anything just yet. I'm going to wait till the story and the characters play out once the series is done. So that's what I'm going to do with Stranger Things. And if you're wondering how I got into Stranger Things, I want to give a shout out. I'm going to give my first shout out to a YouTuber that's not very active anymore. His name is Raymond Pouncey. And usually I watch Raymond live when he does come on live. And he's a guy that will just talk and chat with you while he's live, and if you're in the live chat. And we have a couple of shows in common. One of them is Supernatural. And then he started talking about this show called Stranger Things. Keep in mind, this was some years ago. This is roughly around maybe 2017 or 18 when I seen Raymond talk about this. And Stranger Things was already out. So I never really thought of watching Stranger Things then. But once I was talking to Raymond Pouncey about this show, this sci-fi show that's on Netflix, I thought, maybe I will give it a shot. So Raymond got me into watching Stranger Things. I really can't thank that guy enough. Dude, if you're watching this, dude, you're awesome. Thank you for getting me to watch Stranger Things. Best thing ever. So, in terms of shows, that's pretty much all I have. In terms of the things that I've been watching in 2025. Now, I know, again, a lot of people are going to talk about their 2025 movies and stuff like that. That's something I'm not going to do. So I talked about the sports. I talked about the movies. Let's see. What do I have left? Music. So music to me is my favorite thing to do. Music is the thing, the hobby I love to do. I love listening to music. And that's pretty much all I need to know. But I do want to talk about a couple of things. Now, I'm going to talk about my top 20 songs of 2025. I'll talk about the last countdown that I presented of the year. And I'm also going to tease a little bit of something coming up for future topics for the Rock Out Wild show. So I'm going to present, share screen, a couple of things, and let's go to the home tab here. So this is my website, which is known as the Make Rock Top 10 Songs of the Week. And I officially ended these countdowns a couple of days ago with my very final countdown. So I'm going to go over that here. So this is the week of December 21st to 27th. Number 10, Illuminate the Path by Arch Enemy. That song spent 16 weeks in the countdown. Then we have I'm a Monster by Melissa Bonney. And that spent 16 weeks on the chart. Then we have Break the Silence by Beyond the Black, which spent 20 weeks in the top 10. Regicide by Ad Infinitum, 7 weeks in the top 10. That moved up a spot. Then we have Struck Dead by Trivium, which spent 5 weeks on the countdown and also moved up a spot. Then we have a song that also moved up a spot, What Lies Within by Alter Bridge. And then we have For I Am Death by The Pretty Reckless at number 4. It's been 16 weeks on the countdown. Silent Divide by Alter Bridge is at number 3, moves up a spot. Then we have End of You by Amy Lee, Poppy, and Courtney LaPlante. 13 weeks on the countdown, stays at number 2 for a second week. And the final number 1 song on the weekly charts ever is Beyond the Black, featuring Lord of the Lost with The Art of Being Alone. 3 weeks on number 1 and 11 weeks on the top 10. And then here we go. Now we have the top 20 songs of 2025. So this was the last thing that I presented here. So these are my top 20 songs of 2025. Number 20, Silent Divide by Alter Bridge. Number 19, Greed by Royale Lynn. Number 18, Hangman by the Raven Age. Number 17, A Hope in Hell by Bleed From Within. Number 16, By a Monster's Hand by Volbeat. Number 15, Cross the Divide by Epica. Number 14, Slow Burn by Phantom Elite featuring Jules Mitch. Number 13, Illuminate the Path by Arch Enemy. Number 12, I'm a Monster by Melissa Bonney. Number 11, Paper Tiger by Arch Enemy. And number 10, I Believe by Killswitch Engage. Number 9, For I Am Death by The Pretty Reckless. Number 8, Sacred by Parkway Drive. Number 7, Rising High by Beyond the Black. Number 6, Darkness Always Wins by Hailstorm. Number 5, Back-to-Back Songs by Hailstorm, with Everest, the title track of their album. Number 4, Blood Dynasty, the title track to Arch Enemy's album. I Will Not Break by Disturbed, as at number 3, ends the year there. The runner-up at number 2 of 2025, Break the Silence by Beyond the Black, and my number 1 favorite song of 2025 is Afterlife by Evanescence. So that is my top 20 songs of 2025. If you want to take a look again, here it is. And I might as well reveal this as well. A future topic for the Rock Out Wild show is this countdown right here. The Mick Rock Top 100 Songs of the past 10 years from 2015 to 2025. That very countdown will be a future topic, not for here, but for a future episode of the Rock Out Wild show. I'm thinking about episode 53 for that show, because episode 52, I'm here to announce that the first topic of the Rock Out Wild show for 2025 will be my Just Mike 2025 albums tournament. For this, though, the 2025 Just Mike albums tournament, 32 albums will battle it out in a single elimination match, and the winner will become will be my favorite album of 2025. What I will go over are the albums that I've listened to. We have The End Will Show Us How by Tremonti. That came out January the 10th. That was an album I really, really enjoyed. March of the Unheard by the Halo Effect. That album came out also on January 10th. Sleepless Empire by Lacuna Coil came out February 14th. Duel by Ginger came out February the 7th. Anti-Bloom by Silverstein came out February 21st. The Consequence by Killswitch Engage. That's an album that came out on the 21st as well. Then we have Timeless Reverie by Serenity and Murder. That came out February the 28th. Yeah, that sounds good, yeah. The Sky, the Earth, and the All Between by Architects. That album came out on February the 28th. Tsunami Sea by Spirit Box was an album that came out March 7th. Prophecy by Edge of Paradise was another good album that came out on March 7th as well. Venom by Enemy Inside came out February the 28th. Power Train by Majestic came out February the 7th. Demento and Turina by Deathless Legacy came out on March 7th. Hellevin by The Unguided also came out on March 7th. Then we have Blood Dynasty by Arch Enemy. That came out March 28th. Shapeshifter by Memphis Mayfire came out also on March 28th, as well as Cross Me Twice by Sixth Sense. So those three albums came out on March 28th. The Valkyries by Cradle of Fifth came out on March 21st. Bleed From Within had an album called Zenth that came out on April 4th. Watch out for that one. A Spiral by Epica came out April 11th. Bodies by Thornhill came out April 4th. Deathmatch by Luna Kills came out on April 4th as well. So these are all these albums I've listened to, the ones that I'm listing off. Let's see. Env by Elutuf came out April 25th. Where are all the metalheads? That's a good question. Where are all the metalheads? Horror Vacui by Sick and Beautiful came out on April 18th. Liv Christine came out with an album on April 25th. Storyteller by Deep Sun came out May 15th. Beyond by Moonlight Haze came out on May 23rd. I'm sure a lot of these bands, I don't think a lot of people ever heard of as well. Songs of Last Resort by The Haunted came out May 30th. Wasteland by Wolves at the Gate came out May 30th. God of Angels Trust by Volbeat came out on June 6th. War Like Thunder by Buck Cherry came out on June 13th. Black Magic by Royal Lynn came out June 27th. Then we have Armageddon by Workings that came out July 4th. Lonely God by Faithful King came out on August 1st. Metal Fourth by Baby Angel came out August 8th. Everest by Hailstorm came out on August 8th. Opus Noir Volume 1 by Lord of the Lost came out on August 8th. Everything's on Fire, But I'm Fine by As December Falls. That's an album that came out on August 15th. 1,000 Little Deaths by Blackbriar came out on August 22nd. Annihilation by 3 Days Grace also came out on August the 22nd. All Is Beautiful Because We're Doomed by We Came as Romans also came out on August the 22nd. Inquisition by Burning Witches also came out on August the 22nd. Then we're getting into the albums that came out in September. In Sipter by Fury. Domination by Primal Fear all came out on September the 5th. Trivia Goddess by Year of the Goat came out on September 12th. Better Broken by Sarah McLachlan came out on September 19th. Yeah, that's right. Sarah McLachlan came out with an album this year. Ascension by Paradise Lost came out September the 19th as well. Then we get into the albums that came out in October, and there's quite a number of them. We have Death Above Life by Arbor Culture. They came out October the 3rd. Conspiracy by Living Dead Girl. That came out August again. Write that one down. October 10th. Steelbound by Battle Beast came out October 17th. And there's a few of them that came out October the 24th. We have The End by Mammoth. Neon Void by Sumo Psycho. And Evertale by Electra Storm. And then rounding out October the 31st, an album that came out on Halloween is Classics Volume 1 by The Rock Orchestra. Oh, and also back in August of this year, Voltaire came out with an album called Submarine Surf. And Close Your Eyes by Liv Sin, that one came out August the 8th as well. And there's only a few albums that came out in November that I listened to. We have The Last Night on Earth by Finger 11. Another Miracle of Mice and Men, they came out on November the 14th. On the Finger 11 album came out on November the 7th. Flowers by The Devil Wears Prada came out on November the 14th. And Field of Swords by Bloodbound came out on November the 21st. And those are all the albums that I listened to in 2025. And that was about 60 I just listed off. But only 32 can make this tournament. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present, share screen, and show you all the Just Mike 2025 albums tournament. So let's take a look at what the first round matches are. Now, this is just going to be a preview. I'm not going to invent any albums just yet. I'm just going to preview the first round matches so you all can get a clear idea of what the first episode of the Workout Wild Show's main event will be all about. So we have the first round match here. We have Metal Fourth by Baby Metal taking on Aspira by Epica. We have Black Santa by the Raven Black taking on Violent Nature by I Prevail. That'll be a good first round match. Then we have The Sky, the Earth, and All Between by Architects taking on Classics Volume 1 by the Rock Orchestra. Then we have Amora Vincent Amina by Liv Christine, former singer Lee's Eyes, taking on Sleepless Empire by Lacuna Coil. Then we have Duel by Ginger, taking on Blood Dynasty by Arch Enemy. Then we have Armageddon by Workings, taking on Tsunami Sea by Spirit Box in the first round. Also in the first round, we have Prophecy by Edge of Paradise, taking on God of Angels Trust by Volbeat. Then we have Cross Me Twice by Sixth Sense, taking on This Consequence by Killswitch Engage. That'll be a good first round match. Then we have Another Miracle by Of Mice and Men, taking on Everest by Hailstorm. 1,000 Little Deaths by Blackbriar will take on Black Magic by Royal Lynn. Then we have Better Broken by Sarah McLachlan, taking on The End by Mammoth. Then we have Steelbound by Battle Beast, taking on The End Will Show Us How by Tremonti. Then we have Interceptor by Fury, taking on Summerween Surf by Voltaire. That's a good first round match. Then we have Last Night on Earth by Finger 11, taking on Alienation by 3 Days Grace. And how appropriate, how fitting that two bands from Ontario are battling it out in a first round match. You know what this is? This is Burlington versus Norwood. Burlington, Ontario, Finger 11 versus Norwood, Ontario's own 3 Days Grace. Holy crap. Now that is a dream match right there. And that's all about to go down on January the 7th, 2026. Then we have Inquisition by Burning Witches, taking on Death Above Life by Overculture in the final first round match. Neon Void by Sumo Psycho, taking on Zenth by Believe From Within. Cool matchup? Yeah, absolutely. And those are all the first round matches in the Just Mike Songs Albums tournament. That tournament will take place on the Rock Out Wild show, the first episode of the Rock Out Wild show in 2026. What other topics do I have left? Well, seeing as I'm still on the music here, I might as well talk about this. And this is something I don't talk about very often. This is the Mick Rock Music Hall of Fame. Now, this is something that I started a couple of years ago, and it's only exclusively on the Supercharge 500 Express Facebook group with only 17 people there. So if you're a part of that group, you will see all the inductees into the Just Mike Music Hall of Fame. But this is something I'm only going to share once, and I'm going to share it on this live stream right here on the 2025 Retrospective Looking Ahead in 2026 video. So you're probably wondering, what qualifications do you need to be in the Just Mike Music Hall of Fame? Well, there's only a couple of things. You have to be around long enough. And that's pretty much all you need to do. And also, the ones that I am inducting are the ones that have been around for decades, and I mean decades. I'm putting in bands from the 60s, some people from the 50s, and just mainly from those decades, that's where I'm starting. And really, I grew up with one singer when I was 2 years old. I started listening to one particular singer, and I figure, I'm 39 now. Who should be the first inductee into the Just Mike Music Hall of Fame? I really don't have to think about this much. And that very person is the king of rock and roll. That is Elvis Presley. So he was the first inductee into the Just Mike Music Hall of Fame. And I will list the rest off here. The second inductee and the third inductee went in side by side. Those are the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. The fourth inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame was Jimi Hendrix. Actually, no. The fourth inductee was Led Zeppelin. The fifth inductee was Jimi Hendrix. The sixth was Muddy Waters. Then we have Gene Krupa, Buddy Rich. Rush was the ninth inductee. And the 10th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame, Black Sabbath. And you can go either way with it. You can go Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. You can go Ronnie James Dio, Black Sabbath. But I think sometime in the future, Ronnie James Dio himself could be a future inductee as well. The 11th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame was Carlos Santana. Then we have Janis Joplin. The 13th inductee was Buddy Guy. Then we have Steppenwolf. The 15th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame is the Prince of Pop, Michael Jackson. What do you think of Jeff Buckley? He was well known for the cover of Hallelujah. Really good cover. Not my favorite cover of Hallelujah, but Jeff Buckley will be a future Hall of Famer in my list. I can guarantee that. Absolutely. The 16th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame was Chuck Berry. The 17th inductee was Robert Johnson. And for the 18th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame, it's three people into one. And they're the King brothers. There's B.B. King. There's Albert King. There's Freddie King. The Blues Trio. So they're in as one inductee, as the 18th entrant. The 19th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame, side by side with Elvis, was Little Richard. So Little Richard got in the 19th spot. The 20th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame is a really good sly, slick guitar player from the late 50s. That is Link Wray. And let me tell you, Link Wray, that guy was ahead of his time. We're very, very talented guitar player. Then we only have 9 left here. I got 30 entrants. The 21st entrant into the Just My Music Hall of Fame is Ray Charles. The 22nd inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame is Jerry Lee Lewis. The 23rd inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame, the soul man himself, James Brown, the godfather of soul. The 24th inductee was Hank Ballard. The 25th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame is someone who done it his way. That is Frank Sinatra. The 2020, I should say, I was always going to say 2026. The 26th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame is now a 2-time inductee. The first time he was inducted was the 10th inductee as Black Sabbath. Ozzy Osbourne gets his own induction as the 26th entrant into the Just My Music Hall of Fame. The 27th inductee into the Hall of Fame is T-Bone Walker. And the last 3 you can do no wrong with. The 28th inductee is a band that brought you songs like, what's that song? The White Rabbit, Jefferson Airplane, and Don't You Want Somebody to Love? That one too as well. The 29th inductee into the Just My Music Hall of Fame is Johnny Winter. And the 30th, the last band that I put into the Just My Music Hall of Fame is a band that brought you songs like When You're Strange and Roadhouse Blues. And you know where this is going. It's Jim Morrison. It is The Doors. F, 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 F. If you know, you know. So those are the entrants into the Just My Music Hall of Fame. You heard them first right here on YouTube. And I guess the final thing that I'm going to go over, let's see, is I will take a look at, some of the stuff in wrestling. So let's see. Hey, where's Rock Harley? One day. Actually, you know what? Rock Harley and the Sportsters. That would be a good induction. The songs like I'm Ready and all that cool fun stuff. Oh, what was that one? Bad Motor Scooter. Great tune. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk about is wrestling. Now, these are not just the... So, for this one, I don't have any particular NXT matches on here. Mainly main roster stuff. Raw, SmackDown, special events that are non-NXT related. I'll save an NXT for a little bit later. But these are the main roster best matches, I think, of 2025. We have Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match at the Royal Rumble. What a hard-hitting match that was. The 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match, that was really good, I thought. The men's and women's Elimination Chamber matches. And the thing that I really remember the most with that women's Elimination Chamber match was Jay Cargill coming in and attacks Naomi, and the fans erupted. And Liv Morgan was an absolute standout in that match. And then we have Becky Lynch versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria at Evolution on July the 13th. John Cena and Logan Paul at Clash in Paris on August the 31st. Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer face each other at WrestlePalooza on September the 30th. Sami Zayn versus Dragunov on SmackDown for the U.S. title. It was Dragunov's comeback, and he won in his comeback match. So that was really good. And a more recent match, Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes on December the 28th, where Carmelo Hayes wins the U.S. title. What a really good match that was. Then we have John Cena versus AJ Styles at Crown Jewel Perth, October the 11th. That was the match where there was a big love letter to wrestling. John Cena with the whole Sister Abigail. He was pulling out all the wrestling moves from people that he had worked with. Similar to AJ Styles, where he applied some moves that other people did that he worked with in TNA. What a really good match that was. And I know what you're going to say, and I'll be ready for it. The TLC match for the tag team titles. This was April the 25th. This was, I do believe, was right after WrestleMania. It was like these teams were pissed, and they wanted to let people know that, hey, you took us off WrestleMania. We are going to prove that we belonged on WrestleMania. It was the Street Profits, DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and the Motor City Machine Guns. And those three teams went out there and stole the show. Cena and AJ, awesome. Absolutely. I agree. Cena sucks. I knew you were going to say that. Anyway, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes in a street fight, which happened on August the 3rd. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 41 Night 1, April 19th, where Paul Heyman double-crossed. First, Paul Heyman gave a low blow to CM Punk, and then, well, actually, no, it was Paul Heyman that gave the low blow to CM Punk, and then Paul Heyman, to say he low blowed Roman Reigns was an understatement. He went in there. He actually went in there. What? How'd you know? Because I know things. I know things. Anyway, the final two matches that I have, where I think are the best WWE non-NXT stuff here, is Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky at WWE Evolution on July the 13th, where Naomi cashes in the Money in the Bank contract. That was really good, I thought. And Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, WrestleMania 41 Night 2 on April the 20th. Best kickoff match. What a really good match that was. Paul enjoyed that. He actually looked like he did enjoy that, yeah. It was like, yeah, I could not stop laughing at all. I could not stop laughing. And we'll get into some of the NXT stuff. So I will share the screen because I have a tab ready to go and see what. Well, I'll look at the PLEs. I won't look at the individual matches, but the premium live events that NXT had were so all these NXT specials I thought were fantastic. To me, the one that really stands out, I'm gonna have to say Vengeance Day. NXT Vengeance Day I thought might be the best special event. I still keep calling it pay-per-view because I'm a little bit old school. They call them premium live events now. So I think NXT Vengeance Day was the best pay-per-view out of the here I go again. Of the bunch here. Now we have Stephanie Vicaire, Fallon Henley, North American title, Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus Josh Briggs and Inuyamara, tag team titles, Eddie Thorpe, Trick Williams, strap match, Ethan Page and Javon Evans, Alba Femi, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and Julia Bailey, Roxanne Perez, and Cora Jade. Yeah, that show overall, I think was really, really good. Probably the best one of the bunch. And it's funny, the first NXT special event, I think, is the best one. But then you have New Year's Evil, where Obafemi won the NXT title. Then you have NXT The Great American Bash, NXT Heat Wave. Then we have NXT No Mercy, where Obafemi lost his title. And then gained it back on NXT Deadline on December the 6th when he defeated Ricky Saints for it. And Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc was really, really good. And the reason why I love Halloween Havoc is because Tatum Paxley won the NXT Women's title there. So I thought that was a really good moment. Oh, and The Culling, you are all on my shit list for tuning on Tatum Paxley at Homecoming. That was not necessary. That should never happen. Tatum Paxley should have won that night. Anyway, I'm moving on. I'm rambling on. Final thing I want to talk about are some shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to Bobby Fran, who goes live every day, Monday to Friday. He does this thing called BF Live The Vibe. Go check out his channel. Bobby Nick does this thing on Rumble. He does the Lunatic Lounge. He does live hangouts, late night as well. We have Andrew the Giant, who does live streams on his channel. Go check him out. Give him the love. And the last one, No Filter with Andrew and Friends, who are live on usually every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, usually around 7 p.m. Eastern. So that's the community I'm kind of involved in. And check out everyone. Check out everyone from the network, and you know all. You know all who you are. Go check them out. Nothing but love. Spread the love. Share everyone that you know, from your family to your friends to your coworkers to your acquaintances. You know the drill. So that's pretty much all that I have for this 2025 retrospective of 2025. Now, I do want to say one more thing about 2025. 2025, I thought was my comeback year. I really, really enjoyed this year. And a lot of it has to do with this new show called The Rock Out Wild Show. I started this in January, the first Wednesday of January, and I haven't missed a single week. The only reason I didn't do a show last week or this week for that matter is because for this week it's New Year's Eve. I want people to enjoy their New Year's Eve, and last week it was Christmas Eve, so I wanted people to enjoy their Christmas coming up. So those are the only 2 weeks that I missed. But other than that, from January to December, 51 episodes of the Rock Out Wild Show. I feel good. I feel accomplished about it. And again, a lot of it had to do with that, and a lot of it had to do with finally opening up to someone that I've been talking to for the past 6 months. So that's pretty much all I would say about that. And that's pretty much it. Thank you all for tuning in to the 2025 live stream of the 2025 retrospective, and also looking ahead what the future will hold for the Rock Out Wild Show. I am your host, Just Mike, and on a final note to all of you watching all around the world, get plenty of rest and always do your best. Oh, and subscribe to Just Mike. Rock Out Wild, Rock Out Wild. Yeah.